This is so big. Wow. Also, I am the only person here. Good morning. I slept really well last night, as I figured I would, having not really slept the night before. So I did some research yesterday, and it turns out the point where I turned around, I actually was on the correct route. The fact that I didn't realize that at the time means I probably wasn't thinking that clearly. That was because of the heat, so that was a little worrisome to me. The forecast was dead on. It said 40 degrees Celsius yesterday, and that's what I had in my thermometer on the bike. Forecast is the same for today, and even a little warmer tomorrow. I went online, and some other people asked pretty much the same question that I had as to if that route is good or not. They had big loaded bikes, and people are like, if you're going to Argentina, to South America, it's really, really not worth risking a fall, damaging the bike, or even worse, like your leg or something. They recommended a paved route that goes around the area and actually goes to some really nice viewpoints that I would miss if I was trying to take this macho route through the dirt roads in the canyon. So the other people took their advice, and I think I'm going to do the same, and just follow on that route. Just too many things were stacking up against me to make it a dangerous situation. The fact that I was only making 10 miles an hour, and it's over 100 miles, that would be 10 hours to get there. The heat, 40C, 41C, tomorrow is 104, 106 Fahrenheit. It's just too hot to safely do it. And the fact that I don't have the appropriate motorcycle for it. I have a street bike with not big suspension travel, small front wheel, and on the heavy side. So it's designed for pavement, and there's a really nice paved road that goes around the area and comes in on the other side. That's what I'm going to do. It'll take 2 days at least to get there. But yeah, let's do it. Delicious. Huevos and chorizo, some coffee. So I'm just going to have a really nice breakfast here and then hit the road and do the paved route around the north. I'm in Sinaloa now, and I'm going to dip into Sonora and come through the canyon on the paved roads and then dip in on the other side. All right, just filled up with gas in Rosario, Sonora. Yesterday, let's just say it was a bear of a day. I didn't record any video. I rode down from Choix. I did finally ask the hotel owner in Choix how to pronounce it. I said, Joy? He's like, no, Choix, Sinaloa. So, to ride around Copper Canyon to the other side on paved roads, I had to go back down to the main highway along the coast and up here to Rosario, which was about a 5-hour trip. And then from here I still have to get to Creal. I think it's about 9 hours from here, so it's still going to be 2 days of riding. However, I think, as I mentioned, in 2017, a couple guys asked the same question as I had. They had big, heavy loaded bikes, didn't really want to do the dirt road. Well, actually asked if it was doable, and people are like, no, if you're going to South America, it's really not worth risking damage to the bike or an injury to yourself, spraining an ankle, breaking a leg, something like that if you dropped a bike. It's one thing to drop a bike in a parking lot and pick it
right back up. But on those steep rocky roads where I'm going downhill and the front tire, I'm trying to slow down, but it's so steep, the front tire is like skidding, the back tire is definitely skidding. You know, if the bike fell over there, even not even accounting for any damage to the bike or anything, it would be very, very difficult to get that thing upright, pointed back downhill, get on the bike, and continue. So I'm slightly disappointed that I wasn't able to do it, but nevertheless, confident that I made the right decision. And not to mention, it's not for nothing that it was 105 degrees out there. So that was kind of the clincher in deciding not to try it again the next day. So yesterday, as I was saying, was a bear of a day. Riding from Choish up here, it reached 43 degrees Celsius, which is about 110 Fahrenheit. The hottest I've experienced on the trip so far. I think I hit 41 or 42 in Arizona. But I got so hot about an hour after I left Choish. I was getting really lightheaded, and literally my hands were shaking. I was getting very worried. I had a bit of an upset stomach in the morning and didn't know if I was getting more sick or what was going on. So I stopped at a sex motel. Those are pretty common in Mexico and I presume most of Latin America, because families tend to all live together in a small house, grandparents, parents, kids, so on. So when a couple, like the parents, want to get together, they leave the house and rent these motels by the hour, so just to have some privacy. So even though it was noon, I stopped at one and rented. The minimum was 3 hours, but it was 250 pesos, so it's like over $15. And I just lie down in the bed with the AC on. And after about an hour, I was actually feeling better. So I decided to get up and continue riding. But after that, it got even hotter. I have this cooling vest. It's basically designed so you soak it in water and then put it on. So when you're riding, the evaporating water cools you off. Once you soak it, it seems to last about an hour. It's still a little damp, a bit longer than that, but it mostly feel the cooling for about an hour. And I think that'll be enough today to get me most of the way to the higher elevations where it'll cool off. And I put that on yesterday. I soaked it a couple times, and that really, really helps. I'm happy that I'm off the main highway. There was 2 lanes in each direction, at least 4 different toll stops, at least 3, I think, military stops, where fortunately they just waved me on through without wanting to inspect anything. But now, as you can see, I'm on this narrow 2-lane highway, very little traffic, and yeah. All right, let's do some riding. Here's where we turn off our side road. finally getting into some twisties here. This is, I mean, even since leaving Alaska, it's been mostly highway. This road is great. I mean, for me, this road is so much more fun than it would have been on that, you know, rough dirt road through Copper Canyon. Ah, this is gorgeous. I try to wave at everyone I pass out here because, oh, you know, just to be friendly. Never know if I'm going to need their help. God forbid. Back in the pine forest. Of course, you can't smell anything watching this video, but it smells so fresh up here. Smell all the pine trees. Just glorious. Welcome to Chihuahua. So I've left Sonora and just entered Chihuahua, which also means that there is a time zone change since we are now an hour later. Alright, I have arrived in Basa Sayachi. Basa Sayachi. That is where that really big waterfall is. Now I gotta find there's a whole bunch of hotels in this town for people wanting to see the waterfall and some cabins. So there weren't any prices at all online. So I'm gonna have to stop and ask. Today it was the best day of riding I have had this entire trip since leaving Anchorage. Finally, just nice twisty roads through a pine forest, virtually no traffic, remote. Oh my gosh, cool weather. It was just fantastic. It's Highway 16 in Sonora, leading out to Basa Sayachi. So, alright, I just gotta find a place to stay and go check out this waterfall. Okay, I'm just inside the park. See if these guys have any cabins. Hola, buenas. ¿Tiene habitaciones?
Sí, pero la más chica.
I got a cabin here for the night. You said it was same price for 4 people or just me, 1,000 pesos. It's not so bad, so I just decided to go for it. Brisa, botas. Did you guys like the ride today? Yeah. So definitely work for the night. And it's like just inside the park. It's real close to the waterfall. So I'll probably even have time to go look at it tonight. There's still like almost 2 hours till sunset. I am here in the parking lot to walk out to the waterfall. I had the time wrong. But I said earlier it wasn't 2 hours till sunset. It was about half an hour. But that's okay. I should see it's right. Hopefully, well, gonna miss the sun here, but should at least see it at dusk. I checked the sign as to the rules, and there did not mention anything about drones, so should be able to get some footage from the air. So it is 1 kilometer according to the sign. Well, this is pretty cool. Oh, I guess that's the old trail down here, and then they have this new bridge up here. And I am guessing that is the flow. So it is the end of the dry season, or coming towards the end of the dry season, so I'm not surprised there's not a whole lot of water. But anyway, should still be pretty cool to go stand on the brink, look over. All right, I am at the brink, and yeah, there is not a lot of water, but I'm sure this is very, very impressive during the rainy season when there's a lot of water flowing. But even the canyon itself here, it's well worth hiking out. This is so big. Wow. But yeah, also I am the only person here. So yeah, if you're ever in the area, Copper Canyon, it's if it's on your way, it's definitely worth stopping here and walking out. So in this video, after leaving Choish, went back to El Fuerte and kind of cut over to the main highway and rode up just before Ciudad Obregón, cut over here and spent the night in Rosario, and then rode up here to this road and around to Basasiachi. So I really hope you enjoyed watching this video.
Be sure to subscribe to the channel if you'd like to be able to find it again to follow the rest of the trip all the way to Argentina. And I look forward to seeing you in the next video.